So leaders, in terms of presentation, let's now talk about the group heat dynamic. So the first thing is you get your partner, great, we get to dance together. If you know what song is going to be played, either a blues, a slow, a fast, hip hop, etc., because usually they're in a certain order, then you can choose where you want to dance as long as you're not in circle format. So if Tess and I dance really well together to, let's say, hip hop, and I know the first song is going to be a contemporary hip hop piece, then maybe we go closer to the judges. If the judges are in the back of the room, why would I go all the way to the front to dance in front of the audience when I want them to see me and I want to present better in front of them? So even though they're only seeing me for the same 10 seconds as everyone else, being in closer proximity to them actually gives them a greater access to me. And maybe if I do something really cool and they're not watching me, they'll notice that my level of difficulty is higher with the drops or the tricks that I'm doing, and they'll take that into account in their judging. But if Tess and I dance horribly together to, let's say, a polka comes on. It's weird because it's a West Coast competition, but maybe we'll go hide in the corner and then the judges won't see us on that song. The next part of the group heat dynamic is you should always have a few power moves under your belt, all right? And you can learn power moves from my videos, from YouTube, from other instructors. But a power move example, let's say we have crossbow whip with illusion turn and then cradle into open, all right? So you take that move. And you know that the judges are going to love that move when you do it well and you do it musically. And Judge A sees, let's say, the 10 seconds of my dance in the first heat at the beginning of it, and I do that power move. That judge is not going to look at me again, most likely, and most likely not on that same song. So in the next phrase, after, I don't know, another 20 Mississippi seconds here, then why not go back into that same power move? Maybe my partner gets really bored, but you know what? I don't care, because this is about us looking good, me looking good, and being able to actually make finals. So it's okay to take the same power moves and repeat them over and over and over again until you get to a spotlight, in which case you really shouldn't do that. But feel free to repeat your power moves in the group heat. The next part, and this was huge for me when I was coming from novice through advanced on the circuit, was that I wanted to dance my principles and I wanted to dance simply. So I thought if I just grooved and did my basics and had good body movement and was allowing my partner to dance and we had a great connection, that I would place really well. And it worked really well on the national circuit. But in Los Angeles, it didn't. And in local competitions, I was getting not top 5. And as I was asking for feedback, the feedback I got was, Doug, you're being too vanilla. And what that translates to is you need to do more complex level of difficulty things, because if you're dancing the same level of body movement as someone else, the person that is doing an underarm turn is not going to place as well as the person that does a double outside roll. And the person that does the double outside roll behind the back is going to place even higher if all three of those things were seen equally by the same judge and everything else was a level playing field. So by keeping it moving, I want you to think about transferring from a sugar push thinking step to a different thinking step for that competition. Maybe for the next competition, your thinking step is an open whip with an inside turn. So anytime you're like, oh man, I don't know what to do next, that's when you're going to say, oh, I'm doing my open whip with an inside turn. And you're going to see dramatic changes in how the judges see you when you're not doing basic sugar pushes or non-complex movements. Now, the last part of this chapter is how to show yourself off. Even though judges say they watch both the leader and the follower, leaders, if you're being judged by leaders, they're focused on you. And the only time they're going to look at the partnership is if you're off time. They might see if the follower's pulling you off time. Or if you're on the ground falling over, they'll try and see, whose maybe fault that was. But otherwise, you want to show yourself off. You want to do this without out-dancing your partner. But there's nothing wrong with, let's say, Tess is doing all simple basics, right? There's nothing wrong with taking this movement and turning myself and not turning her if I don't think she'd be able to handle a turn. I can take this movement and I can spin myself in the dance. I can do complex moves that allow me to show off how much I'm moving. And my partner is going to be styling within the context of the framework that I have given her, if you will, if I'm being a strong enough leader and she's not allowed to play. So in a more novice division, what you're going to focus on doing is making sure that what you do looks good on you. Now, how do you do that? Besides practice, practice, and practice, make sure you're practicing. And if you do it in front of a mirror, you can see that this is not going to look as good as this versus this, and allowing yourself to practice the presentation. And one of the most important parts of showing yourself off are our facial expressions. So if you walk into a dance like this, you're not going to place as well as if you do this. Unless it's a slow lyrical piece about something like a tragedy of some sort, you don't really want to smile as much. But there's nothing wrong with smiling in West Coast swing. When I came out of Lindy Hop, West Coast was like the stoic dance. It's really not. Have fun with it and show the judges that you're having fun without making eye contact with the judges.